Welcome back to Afternoon Live. Okay, there seems to be an increase in non-traditional relationships, and if you are wondering, why is everyone in Portland into non-monogamy? Our next guest is here to help. We welcome back licensed professional counselor and author of Big Dating Energy, our friend Jeff Guenther, aka Therapy Jeff. It's so good to see you.
It's good to see you too.
This is quite the topic.
It is.
So let's define what we're actually talking about when we say non-monogamy.
Yeah, non-monogamy is any relationship where you have more than one romantic partner at the same time. It is consensual.
Right.
It is ethical, it is honest, it has good communication, good boundaries. Everybody is in agreement. And cheating can still happen in non-monogamous relationships because there's boundaries and there's rules about what your other relationships might look like.
So most importantly, everyone involved is on the same page.
Totally on the same page, yes.
And a lot of us are saying, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't know that this was a thing, but it is quite trendy, particularly here in town.
Particularly here in town in Portland, Seattle, San Francisco, the more like progressive cities that are a little bit more alternative. Yeah.
So what are some misconceptions about these situationships or however they come about?
So misconceptions are that like it's only about hooking up with other people.
Right.
That is a perk. You do get to hook up with other people. However, it's also about creating even more emotional bonds, having an even bigger community, people that you can lean on and go to for support. Some folks think that it's just like, oh, you don't want to commit, so you want to be in an open or poly or non-monogamous relationship. Actually, there's a lot more commitment that happens in a non-monogamous relationship because you're committing to multiple people at the same time sometimes. Some other folks might think that like, oh, this relationship isn't working out, let's just open it up and see if that works. That is not the time to open up a relationship.
That seems like a bad instinct.
It's a bad instinct. You actually need to have a pretty secure and stable, honest relationship. That feels really nice and stable so that you can like start to slowly go into these different types of relationships.
Is it kind of exhausting? I mean, it sounds like a lot to handle, depending on exactly how you make it work.
Yeah, it can be really exhausting. Some people are in like a polyamorous relationship where they have like maybe a primary relationship and then they're dating other people and are in other relationships with other folks. Sometimes you're just like, well, I have my person, my primary person, like you would in a monogamous relationship, but sometimes every now and then I'll go out and hook up with somebody. So it can be a totally different style, whatever you all agree on, but it does there's scheduling, there's Google calendars, there's communication, and it can be tricky.
And I've heard people say, yes, we are open, but what I do off the clock when my partner isn't there, they actually don't want to know about it, and that is our agreement.
Yes.
As long as it's agreed to.
As long as you're all agreed to. Some people want to know all the details, and other people are like, keep me out of it. I'm just glad that you're happy. Yes.
How can you tell or consider if this might be something that could work for you in your relationship?
I would suggest that you read one of the popular books. So one of my favorites is called Polysecure by Jessica Fern, and you can read her book. She gives a really good description of what it's like, what you got to do, and she lists all these different values that you might resonate with while you're reading the book. And you're like, oh, maybe that's me. Maybe that's something I want to explore. Maybe I have more room for emotional bandwidth. There's also a ton of poly and non-monogamous people in Portland that hold events and meetups. You can just go and hang out and ask questions, no pressure
to do
anything, and just sort of like see what the community is like.
So again, following the rules, what if you're out and about and you meet new people? At what point do you say, hey, by the way, I am in a relationship, but it's not monogamous, so if you're interested in that, how do you bring that into the conversation? It sounds a little awkward.
It can be a little awkward, a little weird, but usually people who are in poly or non-monogamous relationships lead with it pretty soon. There's lots of dating apps that sort of like give you the option to label what you're looking for. There's even a dating app called Field, where it's just for non-monogamous folks. You can go to that community. Everybody knows what you're looking for, and it's easy to find people.
What about people who say, oh my gosh, I could never, that's not for me. Is it just none of their business? I mean, there's that.
There's that. If that's you and you can never, then no worries. You don't ever have to do it. A lot of people are really worried about like, oh, but I'll feel so jealous, and how do I handle that? You can still feel jealous in monogamous relationships.
That's very true.
Jealousy is in any relationship. But in a non-monogamous relationship, you might tolerate or experience jealousy in a different way. When we're in like a monogamous relationship, if I feel jealous, I'm going to say, hey, can you not do that so I don't feel jealous anymore? In a non-monogamous relationship, I'm going to be like, oh, I'm feeling jealous, so I'm going to tolerate it, I'm going to sit with it, I'm going to understand it, I'm going to reach out to my community, I'm going to figure out how to deal with it in a way where I'm not just like trying to tell my partner what to do. It's kind of like exercising like a muscle. You just sort of like get used to handling it.
And maybe you could try it in a certain relationship, and then you can see if it works for you or if it really doesn't and it just doesn't serve you that way.
Totally. You can start in your relationship if you want and start really slow. And it might just be like going to a club or an event and watching your partner flirt with someone.
Oh my gosh.
That's it.
Wow.
And if that doesn't work for you, that's good feedback. You don't ever have to do it. But it's just like a little taste of what it's like. And if it's kind of like fun and cool or a turn on, then maybe like expand it a little bit and a little bit. You move slowly.
I like that. Baby steps.
Yes.
Fascinating. Thank you so much for sharing with us. It's always nice to see you.
Good to see you too.
Okay, Jeff's book again is Big Dating Energy. And for more information about Jeff, just head to our website at katu.com and we will link you. We'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.